fire feels so good.
Hey, I made your coffee.
Oh, man. Thanks, Keek, so much.
Let's go, guys. You ready? Come on. Yeah,
Okay, guys. I got some meadowlarks coming in. Every morning they come in from the east for some reason, and they slowly walk in. They're so much fun to watch. They're like little dinosaurs. I think the thing is, for like the meadowlarks, I didn't even know what they were 3 years ago. And they're so beautiful. And I have them every winter around my home, and I didn't even know it. And that's what's fascinating to me, is learning about the environment where you live and all the beauty that's around you. It's so much fun to me. So, a blind is just an amazing thing, and what it does is it allows you to get inside and be a voyeur to the world of wildlife. It is fascinating. They're uninhibited, they are themselves, and it is just, you learn so much about the wildlife, I think, and it's just, it's really popular in places like Europe and other parts of the world, and here in the United States it's really not that popular, and I'm not sure why. But I love being in a blind, and my blind is mobile. I can move it around different parts of the property. I can get different aspects of different views, take on different things, and it's really amazing. Here in a couple of years I want to actually build a permanent blind where I have a pond in front where I'm going to dig the blind down into the ground to where I can have a reflection pond, and I can be on the birds or the deer or whatever whenever I'm photographing, I can be on their level and I can get that reflection of them in that pond. I think that'd be so much fun. I have the land to do it, and I'm anxious to do that as well. You know, the blind is fun, but Kiki and I still love to get out and hike and get out and actually try to be very quiet and sneak up on, different wildlife. I mean, the other night, I heard this owl. We have this owl that lives in a tree in our home, and he's a male great horned owl, and he was calling late in the evening, and I could hear the female, and she was on this mountain over further east of our home, and so we decided to go see if we could find that female. So we took off early in the evening, and we hiked. We went about 2.5 miles and hiked around the mountain. I photographed this beautiful mule deer, and we came around to where I thought I had heard the owl. And sure enough, as soon as the sun went down, she let out a call to her male companion that was further west where we live, and I hiked up there and I was able to get a photograph of her. She was so beautiful. But yeah, we love doing that as well. So I think it's important to do a little of both, and I think photographing as much as I do, it keeps me in tune, and I travel all over the world and I get to photograph all these amazing species of animals and birds and these incredible landscapes with Munch workshops. Being able to travel with them is incredible, but I also absolutely love just to photograph the common desert birds that are here at our home. So it's really rewarding.
Love it out here, and we picked this land because there was so much wildlife when we were considering buying it.
Yeah, I'll never forget the first time we rolled up and we thought about buying this land and building a house on it. It was amazing. It was early December, and it was right for the mule deer rut, and there were a couple of buck here. They were jousting, and it was just playing around and getting ready for the rut. And I thought, oh my God, I fell in love. It was just an incredible piece of property.
And remember, we had to really scrape stuff together to get it. And
we did.
We waited a decade before we could even build on it.
Yeah.
But once we did, it was a dream.
And in that 10 years, there were a lot of planning that happened. And how long have we lived here now?
About 13 years, I think.
Yeah. And the first thing we did is we planted trees. And, you know, to start creating good habitat for wildlife. And we put a waterer in, and the water's been here since before we moved in to attract wildlife. And I think that's the biggest thing, you know. And then in our house, the gray water, we have a gray water system that waters our trees. I think that's really important. But yeah, we planted some native Arizona sycamores and of course mesquite trees and other things like that. But it's just been absolutely wonderful. You know, and yes, we do feed the birds, and that can be controversial. I understand that. But if you do it right, it actually just, in my opinion, does nothing but help the birds, especially in the wintertime before getting ready to nest. It makes their eggs stronger, it makes them stronger, and you know, you just have to be consistent, make sure you're doing it right, with the right type of food, and yeah, and that way you can attract the right type of birds.
Yeah, this morning, Gus and we woke up a little bit late, and I didn't have time to do the makeup and the hair and all that, but so the scale quail have been coming in every morning, and they're usually a little bit later, but this morning they didn't come in, and yeah, that and the Campbell quail as well. I really have been enjoying photographing them. But they didn't come in this morning. They're going to start breeding here pretty soon. To photograph the babies. It's going to be fun. Gus and I were getting ready to get out of the blind. And all of a sudden the quail started coming in. These are scale quail. I love the way they sound.
And then there's Gus the dog. He's an incredible dog. He's our 7th cattle dog. Kiki and I have been married 46 years, and we've had a lot of great dogs in our marriage. And they've just all been so much fun, and they've all had their own personality. But the thing with this dog, they're the perfect breed for us. They're a great outdoor dog. They love to hike, and the problem is they also love to chase. And they want to chase wildlife. They want to get a bird. In fact, when Gus was 3 months old, I'll never forget, Kiki let him out in the yard to go to the bathroom, and there was this bird, this house finch, and the house finch flew up in the air, and Gus jumped like 6 feet in the air and caught this house finch and just swallowed him whole. And you know, he would love to do that right now and chase wildlife and eat a bird, but the drive is there. It's intensely strong, but the drive to please us is even stronger. And so, you know, I think that's the thing, is understanding that with this breed. And you know, that's what he wants to do. He wants to please us. He is the perfect dog as a photographer.
You could have a Chihuahua.
Yeah, but I don't think so.
So Gus and I came out here after dinner to see if we could get some deer coming into the wildlife water. Didn't happen. It's almost dark. We're going to head back in. But we want to thank you guys for hanging out with us, for being here at our home. A home that Kiki and I honestly believe belongs to the wildlife as much as it does us. So thank you.